Hey, what's up YouTubers, back again with another video, and this one is on the Anku. Yes, the Anku. Decided to go ahead and put together a basic build for you guys, and let's get started. We're going with the Stalking Fan, which is going to, in my opinion, give us a smoother mechanic when it comes to melee combat, so this is definitely important. And so with starters, we're going to go with the second wind. You definitely need this to allow us to have more stamina. That's important with melee combat. And the pressure point, which is going to give us more overall melee damage. Now, for you guys that may not know, this weapon is definitely puncture based, and it's also critical based too. It does not necessarily mean you have to go with a crit build. So what I like to do is try to get the best out the weapon and still be effective in game. So decided to go ahead and go with the Sundering Strike and the Rendering Strike. Combined together, this is going to give me a nice amount of puncture damage, which is important. Now, this weapon also has the ability to do what? Put out good crit. But as you notice, I'm not going into the crit on this. The reason why, I'm just going to depend on that 20%, and if it procs, it procs. If it doesn't, it doesn't, because I'm going to play into the puncture damage on this weapon. And I'm also going to bring in the elemental damage, which is going to give me that corrosivity of 346 with the Fever Strike and the Shocking Touch, along with the focused energy. So combined together give us corrosive, the puncture, and we're just going to depend on that 20% there, and hopefully it procs. Okay, also, if you want to add more damage, elemental damage to this weapon, you can definitely go with a Virulent Scourge. That's going to knock your numbers up a little bit more with that corrosivity on the Grenier, or you can do like I did and go with the Fury. That's going to give us a little bit more attack speed, or you can go with the Quickening to give you 20% more. But I figure if you're going to go with one or the other, you might as well go with the Fury. Okay, and the reason why, because this weapon, the mechanics of it is a bit slow depending on the Warframe you use. So with 30% extra attack speed, it gives you just enough to do what you need to do with that fast melee combat. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. Now, as for Corpus, of course the same aura slot, Stalking Fan. We're going to go ahead and go with the True Steal, the critical chance, as well as the True Punishment, which is going to kick us up with a little bit more critical chance. And we're going to keep the multiplier the same. And the reason being because this Corpus build, as you know, Corpus, they have a different effect on them. And one of the effects is not puncture. Puncture is not going to do it. So decided to go ahead and push up a tad bit of the critical chance, okay, just so we have just enough. Now, if you notice the difference here in this particular build, we're still going with the second wind, but I went ahead and added on the Berserker, being that we kicked up the critical chance just about 10% more, okay, with 12% more. Now, all we did here, well, I did here, was make a swap. Instead of going with the Fury, I went ahead and went into the crit side with the Berserker, which is going to give me that 30% anyway. Okay, and so the Magnetic with the Vicious Frost, as well as the Shocking Touch, it's going to kick us up to a 231. And we're throwing a little bit of Toxin, just to put a little bit of Toxin, because we know the Corpus are a little vulnerable to Toxin, and we throw in the Fever Strike. So this is the build here for Corpus. It definitely works. Basic build, get some decent results, and you'll get the job done. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, as for Infested, what I decided to go ahead and do with the Infested, of course we're going with the similar build, but what's going to really make the big difference is the gas. Let's kick it right to the gas. The puncture is not going to do it, the impact is not going to do it, the slash is very low, so we have to go into the elemental side of it. So I went ahead and decided to go with a Fever Strike here, a Virulent Scourge here, as well as a little kick from the Molten Impact and the Volcanic Edge, which is going to give us that edge when it comes to gas. Okay, now just for an added bit more of elemental effect, I went ahead and went with the Focus Energy, which is really going to give us that small bit of extra kick. But you're going to need as much extra kick as possible, because mind you, this weapon is not a slash weapon, it's a puncture weapon. So we want to play into the elemental side when it comes to the Infested. And as you know, we're still going to go with the second wind. Reason being because we need that extra bit of stamina. That's what we need. Now, if you notice in this particular build, there's not a furry mod in here. There's not a berserker mod in here. Is there one in here? I don't see one. And the reason being is because we're dealing with infested. The infested, they normally come towards you whether you're doing a defense mission, survival mission, and it's a different mechanic of gameplay. Speed is fine. If you want to go with speed, definitely go with speed. But remember, when using this particular weapon, it lacks in slash. So we're going to be moving around but staying sort of like in one place and just slashing and slashing. Not literally slashing, but procking for that gas and making sure that electricity gets them. And mostly depending on the critical chance. And so here's the builds that I decided to go with for the infested, the corpus, as well as the Grineer. Hope you guys like it. You try them out. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and hopefully you enjoy this video. Just a little gameplay of each faction just to give you guys an idea that these builds definitely work. And once again, it depends on your style of gameplay. Okay, now with that said, basic build. This is Joshuatiming. As always, keep God first, and I'll see you in the next video on Warframe. I'm out. Peace.